So, a few weeks ago, some of you might have seen a video posted by shaving brand Gillette, which received a mixed reaction online, to say the least. It was titled We Believe, and it centred on controversial issues such as the Me Too movement, sexual harassment, and toxic masculinity. Now, some people praised it for its timely message and significance. Others, nearly all men, criticised it for attacking traditional masculinity. So, can anyone here actually tell me, what is traditional masculinity? Is it making a sexist joke? Is it catcalling a woman on the street because of what she wears? Or is it sexually harassing a woman, even when she wants you to stop? No, this advertisement isn't here to destroy traditional masculinity. It's not here to call all men misogynistic. It's here to ask men to stand up for women's rights and further gender equality, so the kind of experience I've just mentioned will never happen again. In other words, it's asking them to be feminist. Sadly, the word feminist has a far different meaning to me than it does to many other people. It is officially defined as the advocacy of women's rights on ground of equality of sexes, but let's be honest, it's more popularly associated with man-hating. And despite the ongoing inequality, this doesn't appear to be changing. For example, I asked a boy in one of my business classes a few weeks ago, what came to mind when he heard the word feminism? Jokingly, he told me he saw a purple-haired woman yelling on the street. This may seem a funny joke to some people at first, but it's still disheartening to realise this isn't too far from the view of feminism by many people. The angry, yelling woman demanding for rights she already has. But the thing is, basic or not, I know I don't have these rights. I don't want to grow up in a country where I'll be paid less than my male counterparts in the same job, where I'll be judged for how I look or what I wear, where I'll be discriminated against because I'm a woman. And despite as advanced Ireland may seem, we are not that country, nor is any other country in the world. In the last decade, we have come far, certainly, but the WEF reckons it will take another 200 years before full gender equality is reached, which is too long for me anyway. But I have faith, however. If we can encourage our women and our men to take action, we will be able to achieve this in a much shorter time span. Since the start of things like the Me Too movement, the conversation involving sexual misconduct and gender inequality is becoming harder and harder to ignore. Still, it seems strange that so many men are conflicted about this movement. Some, it seems, because they're scared of false accusations. Others simply because they've been raised to look at these accusations as harmless fun. These kind of men have grown up being able to treat women the way they want without fear of repercussions, whether once again it's something small like a sexist joke, or something much more abusive. And still, so many women seem to accept these actions because, boys will be boys. What did you expect? I, for one, know this because I've experienced this. I've had friends who've experienced this, and I can guarantee you other women in this room have too. However, now is the time to change that. I believe if we can educate my generation and all future generations of men to see women as equals, sexism will slowly but surely leave us. But so far, I've only been talking about Ireland, which is clearly a first world country. And I must be honest, even if we have our own issues with gender equality, it does not compare to the developing world. Take Pakistan, for example. Here, 21% of girls are married before they're 15, marriages where they never get a say. Both marital and sexual abuse towards women is accepted, if not encouraged. In fact, if a woman reports rape or abuse from another man to the authorities who isn't her husband, she is more likely to be punished because she should have been loyal and chaste to her husband. But, however, if a woman makes a choice against her family's wishes, the consequences can be even more dire. Samia Shahid was a woman who successfully managed to divorce her first cousin after an arranged marriage. In 2016, she received a phone call from her family in Pakistan telling her that her father was dying and he wished to see her. When she arrived, there she was attacked, raped, and killed by her first cousin under her father's approval. This may seem unbelievable to the average Irish person, but this isn't even a rare occurrence in Pakistan. In 2017, In 2017, the Human Rights Commission of Pakistan stated that 376 women were killed under so-called honour killings. However, the NGOs estimate this number to be much higher. It is believed over 1,000 women are killed every year. Now, what do you think the most bizarre thing is about this? How many people do you think were prosecuted? Does anyone here want to guess? Less than 5%. This could be less than the number of people in this room right now. You see, the bizarre thing about honour killings is if you want to ask for forgiveness, you must go to a family member and then you won't be prosecuted. But since most honour killings are carried out by family members, it isn't too hard to find it. Tell me, if these women had equal rights to men, would this have happened? If their male counterparts had treated them with the same value that they're treated themselves, would their lives have been taken from them so viciously? These things happen every day, yet we don't even know about them. Imagine how much harder it is for the girls in Pakistan to fight when they're barely able to receive an education. And now, you might be wondering, okay, Shannon, but what does this have to do with the advancement of gender equality by men? You see, things happening to these women, it's not just their problem. This isn't women's problem or even men's. This is humanity's problem, and it's time we fix it. No other species treat their kind this way. We can't expect to solve these issues if only 50% of the planet chooses to participate. We need everyone. So, this is why I'm asking the men of our generation to join the fight for equal rights. This isn't our issue, but it's yours too. I've had friends who have felt unable to speak out because they're scared of looking weak or delicate. In 2017, the HSE reported 80% of suicides were male. This is 399 men whose lives were lost because they were too afraid to speak out. This is why it's time to stop the gender stereotypes we so cruelly inflict on each other. Men don't have to be strong and unfeeling. Women don't have to be gentle or emotional. With gender equality, we are free to be whoever we want to be without being judged. Jim Rohn once said, life doesn't get better by chance. It only gets better by change. And I agree with him. There isn't going to be any more chance. There will only be change. Thank you.